Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our daily webinar. My name is Heather Kinsey, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Strive Group. With me today is Mitchell Slater from Slater Strategies. Mitchell is joining us from Florida, South Florida to be specific, Port St. Lucie to be even more specific, although he did used to live in Alaska. I did not know him when he lived here. To be honest, he's about half my age, so that might have been a tad bit creepy. But nonetheless, he and his family picked up their Alaska roots and replanted them in South Florida. And he is joining us today to talk about what your business should be doing to bounce back into the economy. So Mitchell, thank you so much for joining us. A little bit of housekeeping for our viewers today. You can go to the strivegroup.com for this session right after we conclude. It'll be available on playback. You can also view all of our previously recorded sessions from that site as well. Our texting pod, usually when you're watching live, you can use the right-hand side of your screen to text to me, but we've had a little bit of difficulty with that this week, so I instead have offered you my cell phone number, and I've got my camera right here ready to accept your questions and or observations for Mitchell. So please feel free to use that number. And I've got it down in the footer of the slide as well. In the event you forget it or you're not jotting it down right now, it'll be available throughout the session. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Mitchell. And I know that you've provided some frequently asked questions that your clients have been asking you as a marketing professional. And so take it away.
Thank you. So perfect. Just a quick, Alaska thing for me. I was raised in kind of Wasilla for the most part, played football at Colony High School. So Alaska is really important to me, and a lot of my family is all still there. They're in Wasilla and Eagle River. So I miss it tremendously, but I love being on here to talk to you guys about some marketing and what we're seeing right now and what we're getting questions from clients about. So this whole back thing specifically we've been talking with clients about is if you look back at history with other wars we've had, other pandemics, there's always this thing that happens after those, which is the bounce back. When the economy opens back up and commerce is flowing again, it's just this flood into the economy. And so we're making sure our clients are prepared for that bounce back. And we've already started to see it a little bit as states start to open back up. People are hungry to go to the restaurants. They're hungry to go to the bars, whatever it is. They're just hungry to come back and hang out with friends again. So making sure that your business is prepared for that bounce back. So something specifically we saw, which was really interesting data, was with Facebook. So Facebook ads are currently fairly affordable. They've dropped in price recently. And so what we were seeing is there was more people liking posts and commenting and sharing and all this stuff that wasn't happening before, which of course, everybody was home. So they were online, they were looking at stuff to buy. What the interesting thing is more people were adding things to a cart, but not purchasing. So we were seeing that there was buyer intent, but obviously with so much unknown right now, people were not going that final step to make that purchase. So what we're expecting is there's all these things in carts right now that when everything opens back up and people are comfortable, they're going to buy. They're going to make that purchase because people love to buy things that they're wanting. So this might be happening with your business as well, as people might be adding things to their cart if you're in an e-commerce business and they're just waiting to pull the trigger. So making sure that you're in front of them and ready to go and ready to be able to convert them into that is something that you super need to be ready for, is that bounce back.
And so Mitchell, it also sounds, you mentioned social media, it sounds as if businesses need to be active on social media right now to be top of mind for those figurative shopping carts to fill up. Would that be a correct assumption?
For sure. And I know I touched on that in a later slide, just about how this is the time you need to be in front of your clients. A lot of times people have tried to kind of pull back. And I know it's hard because money's tight and for a lot of businesses, and so they'll pull back. But really, you need to be in front of people more than ever, which is something super interesting. Is YouTube had to lower their quality of video because so many people were trying to stream video at the same time, and they couldn't do the same quality for everybody. So just to show you, like, everybody is online now. Of course, people are starting to go back to work, but still, so much streaming is happening. So if you're able to. Right. Filming video and putting it out there for people to see is so important right now because that's where they're online.
Right. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah. So So obviously right now you should be wondering, okay, should my business be marketing during this time? So obviously kind of just touching on that is yes. And what I've encouraged clients to do is hopefully you have an email list of people that you work with, clients that love you. You should be emailing them on a regular basis. Don't spam them like every day or anything, but on a weekly basis at least. Just be in front of them. Let them know that you're still there, that you're still in business, that you're ready for them to come back, whatever your business is, of course. I know it'll differ depending on what industry you're in. But I've seen a lot of people, they just kind of pull back and they're waiting and they're not posting a lot on social media. They're not emailing their list. And so think about if you're one of those people that's at home, you might be wondering if that business you love is still in business or if they are struggling. And so this is a perfect time to kind of ask for help too. Maybe it's a restaurant you own and you can say, hey, buy a gift card. That'd be a huge way to help. So telling those people who love you what they can do to help you, you need to be out there and be in front of them. And maybe you don't have the money to pay a company to do it for you. Have either an employee if you have them, or maybe you have a son or daughter that's super savvy on social media, but having them help you just keep your name and your specials or whatever it is in front of people. Don't pull back right now. You really need to go forward with your marketing. And so I know some clients and some businesses have wondered, okay, well, there's a right way and a wrong way to do that. And I think right now, you're starting to get tasteless if you talk about coronavirus and COVID too much now, because people are kind of just getting tired of it. It's been a few months and people are kind of just, okay, yeah, I've heard oh, thank you for talking about COVID again. So it's getting a little old for people. So I would try and, shy away from talking about it too much. And please do not take advantage of the situation, because that can be really tasteless in marketing, saying like, oh man, sweet, all these people are home. I'm gonna stick it to them and do whatever it is to make a buck off of this panic buying, whether it's selling masks for an inflated cost or hand sanitizer for whatever it is. Please do not take advantage of the situation, because that's just going to be a really bad piece on your brand. Would you agree with me?
I would definitely agree with you, but and more importantly, I know that people are worried that it comes across as being either tasteless or a little bit too aggressive marketing during this time, because people are out, they're on unemployment, or they're struggling financially or just mentally or whatever. But I do like the idea of asking for help, right? So we would hopefully reach out to an uncle or an aunt or a mom or a dad, because we know they care about us, right? So it almost gives them purpose to help us. And perhaps that's a good underlying message with marketing, is assuming that your clients, respect you or love you or, are interested in you, and assuming that they're curious as to how they could help and how they could help make sure that you are there and open when we do fully open back up, because there's quite a few people that aren't. And then second observation with that, Mitchell, is you had said a lot of clients are just wondering if you're still open. And that happened just earlier this week. I answered the phone and I'm here at the office clearly. And I was like, woohoo, my phone's ringing. And I answered the phone, and without even saying hello, the caller said, oh, good, you guys are still in business, which I thought was a really interesting way to greet somebody over the phone. But I get it, because I've been making the same types of, looking online for a restaurant or looking online for this, wondering if they are still open. So I appreciate that you said, should you be doing this and why? Those are really good reasons.
And it's obviously, watching the media can really scare people, of course, too, when you hear about all these businesses that are closing. Like one of the ones I heard about just the other day was Steak and Shake is closing. I think it was like 20 or 30% of their stores. And then I just saw Pure One is closing indefinitely, all of their stores. So you got all these businesses they're struggling. And JCPenney obviously just filed for bankruptcy. And I heard Amazon's looking at possibly purchasing JCPenney, which would be just, I don't know what that would look like. That'd be crazy. Since they bought Whole Foods and offer food groceries now, it's crazy. So that can scare people, because they're just like, or is this mean all these businesses are struggling? And this whole time, it's really made me worry about Alaska's economy, since it's so tied to tourism and the money we get from cruise ships going up and people coming to Alaska. And, it's really it's broke my heart because I know that's going to affect a lot of the islands more than anything, the ones that really, truly depend only on tourism to get by. And
Sure.
I'm really hoping we're able to open up fully so we can get that money going back into the economy. So,
Right.
yeah.
So, Mitchell, there is a question, and I bear with me as I glance down at my phone to read it. But it says, Mitchell, Mitchell, should I be changing my messaging? Should my marketing message be more empathetic and compassionate during this time?
Yes, definitely. I don't think even if there wasn't coronavirus, being empathetic as a brand and as a company will always benefit you in the long run going forward. But what we will tell clients, and I'll kind of sort of touch on this in the next slide, is it's never a bad thing to be known as the giving brand, the one that's always giving free information, free guidance, free support, any of those type of things you can give the tips, kind of like this webinar. It's just free education. It's never a bad thing. It's a really good thing to always be that one that's offering help and assistance. So right now, if you can, like some of these businesses have done really well offering free trials of their software, free support for a month or 2 months. Like they're having empathy and they're understanding that people are struggling and businesses are struggling. And so they're going out there to help them right now. Like I've seen so many companies giving free memberships. One of the specific ones is they don't ship to Alaska, unfortunately, but it's called Thrive Market, which is like an online grocery store. They're giving out free memberships to their program, kind of like a Sam's and a Costco. But to anybody affected by COVID, they're just saying free membership, so which is like a $75, I think it is, a year value. They're just wanting to help. Well, yes, that might be a hit to the company initially, but to think about the positive aspects that's going to give to their brand for years and years to come, it's really priceless. So if you can, I would always be empathetic and knowing that people are in a weird position. They might have less finances right now. And so to kind of make it even a longer answer, some of the things we've done with clients is immediately I was getting calls from clients saying, hey, Mitchell, like we're struggling. Like I have one specific as a roofer, and everybody was like, I'm not going to deal with my roof right now. I'm going to wait and see what happens. So their calls was way down. And so what we did for them is I understood. I get it. Everybody was being hit by it. So I said, I'm not going to charge you for the next month, and we'll just break out your payment later. Like I want to be able to work with people. And so if you guys are in that position to be able to do that, that's what you need to do, is work with them as best you can to help them, because it will come back to you. Depending on your business, a paused client is better than a canceled client. So if there's a way that you can get somebody to stay with you, but maybe they don't pay you for 3 months, but you still keep that client and start them back up in July, August, way better than severing that relationship and being, mean or greedy to that person. It's going to help you in the long run.
Right. So a follow-up question to that is, and bear with me again as I read.
Okay.
It reads, what if my business can't afford to offer free stuff, as you were just talking about, because we are struggling and now we're missing staff? How can we be a giving organization if there's nothing to give? What a great question. Holy moly. Can't wait to hear the answer to that one.
So I would love if the person can let me know what the industry, you don't have to let me know your company, let me know your industry, and then I'll cater a specific response for that one.
I don't know if I'm going to get that, but I keep glancing at my phone just in case.
Again, you don't tell me your company. I don't even, just like the industry that you're in, because there's a lot of ways we can offer free information or free guidance, but I'm going to see if that is a perfect fit.
They are responding back. Hold on. They are responding. Service industry.
Service industry. Okay. So if I was to put
that's not very helpful.
Let's, all right. So I'm going to pick a service industry then. So let's go.
Okay.
Somebody who cleans houses. We'll use that one as an example, because obviously people probably won't want people in their houses right now, even though they need it clean. So what we've seen that you can do is, one is you can offer an ebook. You could create an ebook or a free blog post that you can give to just, again, giving information to the people that might need something specifically, offering free help and support. So maybe you have a cleaning company and somebody is like, man, I don't want you coming to my house right now, but I need to probably do this on my own. So you offer, hey, here's the 5 products to buy off Amazon or to buy from Walmart or Fred Meyer or whatever it is, like offering, here's what we use. Here's how you can do a deep clean. Here's a YouTube video on how to do this specific thing. Again, yes, it might hurt you initially because you're not able to make revenue from doing that. But if you're giving information and helping people, however you can right now, it's going to come back to you later because you've given and you've been out in front of people. And what's really cool is once you do something like that, you can use that in a tasteful way later as a marketing tool, or currently right now saying, hey, we were able to help 5 clients clean their houses remotely because we offered them these steps free of charge during COVID. So you're able to use it now as a remarketing tool later on, even though it will be a hit initially. I hope that was a good answer for their question. And in my context,
I think you did a great job winging it for that question. So thank you.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the slide. Went to the next one. All right. So what should my business be doing right now before the economy fully opens? So my biggest stress to clients right now is this is a perfect time to work on your business instead of in it. So so much 2 months ago, people were like, oh my goodness, I'm working from home now and all my kids are all at home. So yes, you might be busy taking care of the kids, but it's a perfect time to work on the business specifically. So maybe you had all these things that will help you in a couple of years to come, like different tasks that you've been putting off for a while. It's a perfect time to get those done. So one of those specifically is making sure your website is ready to convert, because obviously people have just been kind of pushed into digital, whether they liked it or not. If you didn't have the ability to have a digital company, you were kind of left behind, and you had to either quickly learn how to do Zoom calls or whatever it is to keep clients. So use this time right now to make sure your website is mobile friendly, if it's not already, which I really hope it is, but it's ready to convert people. So working on the business right now, obviously that's going to change depending on what company you're in and what maybe specifically you need to work on. But I've seen so many people that just have really, really bad websites that aren't easy to navigate. People don't really know what you offer when they go to the website. So offering that, and going back to that last question the person asked, is put a free ebook on there or a blog post where people can find information on your website where you're educating and giving back is one of the things I think you can really do right now. And if there's one priority my business should be making, what might that be? Let's see. The biggest one, I honestly, is embrace digital. It's not going anywhere, and I knew we already kind of knew that. But if your company hasn't embraced it, it's here. We kind of just made a leap in a couple months that honestly I thought would have happened a while back, but people had to realize that. So just embrace it. It's here. It's not going anywhere. So whether it's Zoom calls you need to set up, you need to have a website made, social media that you didn't have before, but you know that you need it now. Embrace it because it's here and it's not going anywhere. It's going to continue to grow, especially as the younger generations continue to grow and get older. For instance, people don't realize this, but millennials are technically 40-year-olds now, and below it's around 26. I'm right at the cusp of a millennial. I'm 27. So I'm a millennial, but and they always say the 20-year-olds, they always call them millennials. That's Gen Z. People want to make fun of them. That's Gen Z. 26-ish and under. But it's crazy to think that millennials are actually 40-year-olds now and then below. So that obviously that generation, I grew up with a lot of technology for the most part. As that gets older, the businesses have to be embraced digital, or you're going to be left behind with that generation getting older.
Right. So an observation on that, Mitchell, is that this working on the business, not necessarily in the business, as business owners, whether you're big business owners, managers, small business owners, sole proprietors, or whatever, we always put off stuff. That's a rainy day project. That's a rainy day project. Well, shoot, this pandemic has given us over 2 months of rainy days, right? So we have absolutely no excuse for having our data being mismanaged or our processes not being, tightened up or looked at in a different way. And I know it's hard. Even I find myself very unmotivated to work on my business because, I'm depressed or I'm stressed or I'm worried or otherwise, frustrated with everything that's going on. But nonetheless, as a business owner, I need to make it a priority. And then just one more observation, and then I'll check my phone to see if there's additional questions, is I have 2 friends that they decided to utilize this time to figure out social media, right? So, I'm on Twitter and LinkedIn, and our business has accounts on both, and Facebook and all of that. And I'm pretty active, but they're not. And so they're like, oh, I'm diving into social media. And I said, oh, well, which platform did you choose? And one of them said, "Oh, TikTok." And I'm like, alrighty then. I mean, because it's fun, right? TikTok is super fun. And for her business, maybe that is like the best possible platform. And I'm certainly not an expert on what platform is best for what business, but I love that, here we have business owners that are my age, which are not your age, and that they're embracing something, especially something as fun and dynamic as TikTok, because I've got a 13-year-old son. I know a little bit about TikTok. I can't even imagine myself being on TikTok for my business. So more power to her. Anyway, okay.
Funny you bring up TikTok. So a little plug I'll put in there. If you guys want, if you follow me on LinkedIn or on my Facebook business page, is I posted a video where I interviewed one of my friends who's really big on TikTok. She was able to grow her following in 3 months to 30,000 followers on TikTok. And she's taken years to get to 30,000 on Instagram. And we had an awesome 30-minute call. I put a minute of it on Instagram and LinkedIn. But if you haven't embraced TikTok yet, I wanted to put it on 27. I was like, it's a kid's social media channel. It's really not now. It's becoming more and more people are hopping on, and actually to get reach on it is easier. And this could be a whole nother webinar, but to get reach on there is actually easier and cheaper than using Instagram right now. It's like I posted one video. I posted how I was making my morning coffee. It was just a fun video I put as a test, and it had 1,500 views where I had no followers or anything. It's a really interesting platform that's going to grow. So if you haven't hopped on the TikTok bandwagon, go for it.
All right. This is part and parcel to the next question. So the question, Mitchell, reads, what do you think the top two social media platforms are that businesses should be focusing on?
Oh boy, that's a good one. I will put that back into depending on who your target audience is. So Facebook, for instance, is really good for the 30, 35 and up market, if that's your target market. Instagram still really good with the 35 and under. Of course, there's tons of people older than that on the platform, but it is still more of a millennial Gen Z platform. And then I always encourage every person needs to be on LinkedIn. If you're just in business in general, you need to have a LinkedIn personal profile. If you can, also a business profile on LinkedIn as well. You get lots of business and resources and knowledge from following people and engaging with people on LinkedIn. So definitely do that one. I think put that one aside, and then pick one of the other ones. Like if your target audience is young people, man, embrace TikTok and Instagram and hop on and learn it. I think you'll be surprised, but it does depend on who your target audience is.
Right. And I would also say to anybody watching right now is don't try to make it perfect. Some of the best social media engagements that I've been watching, for over a decade now are the ones that have bloopers in them, and not to use a very old word with, using the word blooper, but I've also seen it just been killed by someone trying to make it perfect. And then it's not ad hoc, it's not fluid, it's stream of consciousness and fun, and it feels very contrite. So I would just urge everybody to have fun with it and not try to make it perfect.
You are totally right. And I will show you, I could show you pictures or all these videos on my phone, because I'll take videos on my phone for filming and putting on LinkedIn or whatever. There's some I'll take 20 different takes on it. That's because I really, really goofed up on the video. But yeah, phones make amazing video. They really do. So using that, and again, you don't have to be perfect because it makes you real. It makes you human and it makes you approachable. So again, it does not have to be perfect. It does not have to be edited to be put out on social media. So I definitely don't think that it has to. And if you did need any of that, I listed some resources here that I'll quickly explain for you guys that I think you should check out. The first one is Fiverr. It's an online, commerce place where you can hire freelancers from all over the world to do different things for you. Maybe it's a new logo, maybe it's a website, social media. There's, endless things. You could have a person in there to help you write something. That friend I was talking about on TikTok with 30,000 followers, she's one of the top writers on Fiverr. She makes over $300,000 a year just writing on Fiverr for people who hire her. So she's phenomenal. I've known her for years. So Fiverr is a great place if you needed something specific. The name came from everything started at $5. That's how that originally got its name. There are things obviously more expensive on there, but you can find people in the United States, you can find people in the Philippines and Thailand. I mean, they're all over the world. But if you are on a budget right now, which I know a lot of businesses are really struggling, you can go find something for way more affordable there than hiring maybe a huge agency or maybe having an employee do it for you. Like this can save you a lot of money. So check out Fiverr. It's the double R, so that's not a misspelling. Fiverr.com. The second one specifically is called Fancy Hands. It's an executive assistant type site. So you have a membership to it. It's like, I think their base one's $30 a month, and you pay for each task that they do. They're all US based, and it starts at $6 a task. So let's say you wanted somebody to send your mom flowers. There actually is an option where they can charge your card for, I think, like $30. You can say, hey, I want you to send my mom flowers to this address. And then they book the flowers, they ship it, they charge your card. They're just like a personal assistant for you and your business. So there might be these little tasks that, yes, you can do, but would it be more beneficial to hire somebody $6 per task to do different things for you, to take some stuff off of your plate so you can invest it back into your business? And again, the base plan is like $30 a month, and all this stuff rolls over if you don't use it. So if you needed some help along the way, Fancy Hands, you definitely want to hire them. They're awesome. And then since we've talked about video, this is a gimbal. If you guys don't know what a gimbal, you can put your phone right here in the top and then turn it on, and you're able to film really smooth, steady video instead of worrying about shaking your hand the whole time that you're taking a video. There's a whole bunch. There's ones on Amazon for $20-$30. Then this one's $160. It's called the Smooth Mobile. If you wanted the name and link, you can just message me. I'll send it to you. I love that one. But get a gimbal to make really clean, good, professional video, and you'll be thankful you did. Canva.com is, if you're not a graphic design pro, Canva will help you. It's a free site where you can make social media posts that are perfectly sized for Instagram, Twitter, whatever you're doing. But it's really easy drag and drop to make designs. So check out Canva. It's awesome. And then I'm just finishing up the final touches on an ebook that I'm making about the 5 marketing mistakes that are losing your revenue. So if you guys are interested in that, you can message me or Heather. And when I get it, it's just got to get designed. Otherwise, I finish the writing of it. I can send you that ebook that you guys can read.
Wow. Well, you are definitely practicing what you preach, right? So what can you offer? You give, right? You're a giving thing. Slater Strategies is a giving brand, clearly. Those are great resources. I'd heard about Fancy Hands, and I can't remember exactly how I heard about them, but your example of someone buying your mom flowers, I'm telling you, Mitchell, if you are hiring someone to buy your mom flowers, then shame on you. You have to go put in the blood, sweat, and tears to find a florist to get her flowers. Mother's Day was just a couple of weeks ago. I hope you did the right thing.
Well, if I can put a quick plug on there for that, my mom loved this. So my mom and I always have once a week coffee dates, is what we had when we were living in Wasilla together or whatever. So what I did is I bought her a coffee at Starbucks from 5,000 miles away using the company DoorDash. And they dropped it off at her door one morning, and we had FaceTime coffee from 5,000 miles away. So that was a good Mother's Day.
That was a good Mother's Day. Good job. Good job. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up. So for those of you who have joined us live today, thank you very much for giving us your time and trusting us with that time, because it is indeed valuable. You can go to our website at thestrivegroup.com to see this on recording and to see all of our other previously recorded sessions. If you have ideas for future programming, or if you'd like to reach out to us, you certainly can at info@thestrivegroup.com. And this is information about Mitchell. He told me when he first sent me this picture, he said, don't be alarmed. My hair is a tad bit different. So, judge if you will, but I would rather you not. Everybody is just unique and unusual in our own special ways. But this is a little bit about Mitchell. So I don't want to speak for him. I'll let him tell you a little bit about himself. Fair warning, he says he doesn't like to do this. But I told him since he was in marketing, he had no choice. So Mitchell, go ahead and tell people a little bit about your business and about what you're passionate about doing, and then we'll bid everybody farewell.
Sounds good. So, guys, I started my business when I was 17 years old as a junior in high school in Wasilla, and I started in advertising, going door to door, selling ads, and just trying to help local businesses. So my heart is small businesses, and I love America and the drive and the opportunity that we have here. So my whole goal in life and in business right now is to help you and help small businesses succeed and to grow their revenue. by using digital marketing. Like, it's just my love in my heart. So some of those things listed there are some of the things that we offer. Clients with obviously getting a website up and going if they don't have one, which I really hope that they do. And SEO is just simply helping you rank in organic search so you don't have to spend as much money on online advertising. And then obviously people get online reviews and they probably don't know how to mess with them. So we will go in and manage those and respond to those reviews on your company's behalf so you don't have to. And then obviously just consulting, helping you figure out what you need to do to save you time and maybe have somebody in your office do your marketing for you. But if you guys would like to talk, reach out to me. I'd love to talk.
All right. Well, thank you so much. All right. Goodbye.